Good evening and welcome to Face for the Newsfirst team. I'm Niresh Aliathambi. Well, for several years, we, the public, we demanded system change, and there are a lot of systems that are being changed and have been changed and will be changed in the future. But one of the key systems which need changing is, of course, the digitalization of this entire country, because we are quite a ways back due to bad government policies in the past. Sri Lanka slipped further and further behind in digitalization when you compare to the rest of the world. But now, this new government, well, it is 1 year old now, but this government is focusing on digitalization and to bring us up to date on the progress of the digitalization program nationwide. I have the pleasure of having in our studio the Honorable Eranga Weeraratne, Deputy Minister of Digital Economy. Welcome and good evening, Minister.
Good evening, Nilesh.
Good to have you back. Several
Same here.
months ago, you appeared on this program and you gave us a brief on what was to come, what had already taken place. And I hope you can shed more light today on where we are. Obviously, we have advanced quite a bit since then, and where we will be going in the next few months. Because it is, of course, at a rapid pace. So let's start with digital payments, which there's quite a bit of progress in that. Would you like to elucidate on that one?
Right. Good area to start with, Nilesh. So, in digital payments, which is one of the main pillar in our digitalization policy, and in that, bringing out the payments from the cash-based payments to digital payments is the main objective. We came up with this GovPay based payments for government payments using digital modes. And in that, like currently, more than 150 government institutions are being digitalized to receive payments through digital means. And also, we have, as of today, like we have made through the transaction about 325 million rupee worth of payments, again through the digital mode. So this is a big change, because we see in the past, like a lot of government payments were done by visiting the counters at various government institutions, spending so much time of the public as well as taking so much time from the government servants, and that involves a lot of underhand deals, as well as a lot of transparency issues being encountered in such payments. So, getting into digital payments, like we can eliminate all those issues and also create the efficiency in delivering government services, and create make the time available for public to utilize them for more productive activities by not having to visit government offices for its payment kind of very small activities. And at the same time, through GovPay, like we brought in the traffic fine payment service as well. So currently, it's running in the Western Province and in the highways as a pilot run.
How successful is that?
Very successful, and we are getting much high commendation from the public as well, because they don't have to like keep the driving license and go to a post office, pay the fine, and come back to collect it. And in the past, like if the driving fine was done at night time, or maybe in the weekends, or even in the public holidays, they had to like go back to the same area again to collect their driving license. But with GovPay, they can on the spot, like they can do the payments and then collect driving license and proceed with their journey. But that somebody can think, like, because we are making it more convenient to the driver, they might tend to like do repeated violations of traffic rules and then try to misuse the system. But for that, we are going to bring in the demerit system as well.
Demerit system.
Demerit system,
right?
So that the drivers will have certain point number of points per annum for them to consume, and if as they violate the traffic rules, their points get deducted. Then after the threshold, they will get suspended.
No, this is actually something which many countries have had for decades. So
That's
Sri
right.
Lanka should have had it a long time ago.
Correct.
Again, so many regimes have come and gone, and they spoke about this. Once in a way, you would see this in the newspapers or in other media saying demerit system is coming, but never happened. But now I'm glad to see that that's going to happen.
That's going to
because that will certainly bring about a lot more discipline on the road, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, because we need more disciplined set of drivers, because so much of traffic accidents are happening, and those are happening due to reckless driving. Therefore, to discourage that, we need some point mechanism brought in, so that while we are making the payments for traffic fine easy, not to waste time of public as well as the police officers, we need to have a proper mechanism to discourage continuous traffic rule
Right, and you mentioned that it is on the expressways and the Western Province now, but you are going to roll it out for the other 8 provinces.
That's right. So within a couple of weeks' time, 3 more provinces will get traffic fine payments on the spot, as well as within the course of the year, we are hoping to roll out in the rest of the country as well.
Excellent news indeed. Right, now what about the capacity building when it comes to this kind of thing? Because you are changing the system, and then you need the government servants to get on board, and for them to be trained and to understand that it's not really so difficult. They just need to learn a few new things, and then they can be proficient in it. How's that progress in that?
Yeah, so when you are talking about capacity building, we see multiple levels. One thing is, as you said, government servant capacity building, to use these digital services and provide a better service to the public. Then we have to educate the public as well to use these systems, because it doesn't matter if we have spent millions of rupees and then put up a system, if the usage is if the public is not properly educated how to use those solutions. And also in the capacity building in terms of the school and the university kids, plus the industry existing industry workforce. So to address that, we have started certain education programs. We have so far trained about 6,000 to 7,000 government professionals on AI and other technology use of those technologies. Similarly, we have done certain programs to educate government servants on cyber security and the use of digital services. We have a couple of days back, we did the AI summit to showcase the AI and the use case of those, and a lot of interest is coming from the school children and the general public of the use cases of AI, and we are looking to introduce AI in the school curriculums and so on, and to facilitate that, we got the announcement from Google to provide free of charge student package offer to students in Sri Lanka, which will be a great help for our students to adopt and learn AI and start building AI-based solutions for the most pressing issues, maybe in their village, or maybe in the city, or maybe in the country, or even in the world. So many capacity development programs are currently going on like that.
Right. You mentioned some assistance from Google. And now, for us to make this quantum leap, because we are so far behind, we do need some international assistance, don't we? If we try to do this alone, it's going to take a longer time. So, do we have any international assistance from other governments, perhaps? I know that India is involved in some respects, but what about other governments?
Yeah, we are getting a lot of assistance from various governments, international corporations, and so on. So India is a good example. The digital ID is coming from with the Indian grant program, and there's a Chinese government program to support with smart boards and other facilities on the educational sector. Then we are getting certain support from the Singaporean government to introduce AI, and also giving scholarship for our university graduates to go and do the higher studies and the various new technological areas. And also many other governments are interested to support us on the data center developments, the cybersecurity, the knowledge sharing, as well as the capacity development, support with the technical solutions. Good support is coming on the digital space.
Right. You mentioned the digital ID. What's the progress of that? How soon can we see that actually happening?
So currently, the selection process for the implementing organization for the digital ID is currently going on, and we are hopeful, like towards the end of the year, the selection will be completed, and we can start the rolling out or the customization and implementation of digital ID. Towards the mid of next year, we will be able to start issuing the new digital ID through the new system.
Right. So that's a target mid next year.
That's right.
And it does take a lot of work to get there, isn't it? Because you're going from a manual system, which we've had for, decades, and implementing a digital system. Right. And what about the driving license, which is the other big
Yes. So for driving license also, when we get this digital ID, it's coming not only as a single standalone identification solution, because now digital ID will be the base foundational system to identify who you are. And
right.
at the same time, with that, we can bundle many other identification services like e-driving license, then e-birth certificate, and even the education certificates, and many things as what is called verifiable credentials issued out bundled with that identification.
All right.
So we are going to launch a solution called Super App. That is for identification as well as a wallet with all these digital identifications. One thing is the digital ID itself. The other one is the other identifications like driving license, birth certificate, other education certificates, maybe marriage certificates, and various other certificates in a digital form on their mobile phone and other devices. So whenever, like for any purpose, if some other person needs to verify your those certificates, then either they can show it on the mobile phone, and the other party can verify those documents using digitally using another app called Verify app, and verify that those documents are authentic.
So that should simplify a lot of things like job applications and whenever you need to go to the Gramadillari or the division secretary or wherever,
Yes.
you have to take so many pieces of paper. But this will simplify all that.
It will simplify tremendously, because now, as you rightly said, when you go and get some work done from, let's say, go to passport office to get a new passport, you have to carry a file of documents, and those documents you need to have the quite recent verified documents. You've been asked to go to Grama Sevaka or department or to the division secretariat office to stamp and get those documents verified to state that those are issued within 6 months time or so. Because when you are carrying some paper documents, unless there's a proper mechanism to verify those are authentic, the only way is to look at the seal and the signature, and the date is been verified. But when it is on the digital form, those can be verified real time online, and whatever certificate that is there in the server side is 100% up to date and is authentic and is coming from another governmental institution. Therefore, there's no need of like revalidation or reapplication of renewed documents over and over again. The other point is, now these documents are going to another secure digital server once those are shared for some other organization, and those are again quite secure, unless other than like if you take certain documents in the printed forms, those can get misplaced. The organization will have to have a separate storage spaces to store those documents. But with digital documents, like you can negate having storage spaces and everything, but digitally you can implement whatever the security mechanisms to safeguard them. The third point is, when you are when some organization is asking somebody to produce certain documents, always the user has to give consent for those documents to be transferred.
Right.
Yeah. So there's no way that even a government entity can obtain certain other information from other governmental institution without the user consent.
Right.
And that consent also will be given through digital means, through a mobile app, so that everything will be recorded, and the time the consent was given and everything, and the person who's obtaining those documents for to deliver the government services will be there recorded in digitally, so that end-to-end traceability and everything will be there in the system.
Excellent. So a lot of safeguards are being put in as well. So people can't mess around. They can't get into the system and look at this person's certificates and that person's certificates. They can't do that.
That's right. Yes.
All right. Excellent. Well, this is actually a far cry from the old system where, for example, a birth certificate. Most parents would just get one birth certificate, and then that is given to the school, and then 10 or 12 years later you try to collect it back from the school, and it's a mess. And of course you could later on multiple copies could be obtained, but again it's quite a process which has been simplified somewhat, but digitalization is just going to knock all that down, isn't it?
That's right, because whenever my experience is that whenever I want to get certain government services done, finding those documents is the hardest thing. I know it I kept somewhere, but finding it in my drawers will be another nightmare. So with digitalization, everything will be on my phone, which you carry everywhere that you go. So
right. And what are the government organizations which are driving this under your ministry, and of course the president? We had ICTA. Is it still? I think Dr. Hans Vijayasuriya is the chairman, but I think you're planning to change that as well.
Yeah. So ICTA was anyway in the wind-up process. So only the previous administration was made that decision. And however, like when we came into power, because we didn't have a proper institutions under our ministry to run digital program, we gave a lifeline to ICTA, ICTA, until we form a new entity called GovTech. GovTech to take over the digitalization and the operational work of whatever the digitalization that we are going to do. So we gave a lifeline, and now we have established GovTech, and therefore, like the activities will be migrated from the ICTA to GovTech, and then ICTA will go through the liquidation process.
Right.
There were certain other issues as well in terms of ICTA, which we can't meddle with past issues. We want to take a clean start, and so we'll hand it over ICTA to a liquidator to take whatever the right steps in order to like liquidate that entity.
Right. ICTA was, of course, set up by an act of parliament, so probably we need another act to liquidate it. But there is a process for that.
Yes.
And first, of course, GovTech will take over all those responsibilities.
That's right.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about the super app that you're planning to roll out. I mean, that sounds quite exciting.
Yeah. So even today, like there are a couple of government services in digital form. We are, for example, provincial council or maybe divisional secretariat services, and even the government national services. Certain services are there here and there for our public to consume and take services digitally without visiting the government offices. However, the discovery of those services are a problem because there's no single place where the citizen can come and locate whatever the service that is available. So finding the service, the location of the service, what services are available is a difficult task, as well as because these services are developed and delivered in a different kind of organization, institutions. There's no uniformity between different services. Therefore, if a person is used to, let's say, government services available in the Colombo Municipal Council, when they go, let's say they move to some other area, and when they're trying to access that municipal council's web page, it's totally different. There's no uniformity. Therefore, we need to bring out a system for people to locate these government services much fast, conveniently, and also to bring a kind of a uniform structure of service flow for obtaining those services, irrespective of where they are located, and also the institution that the service is offered to them. So we are bringing out this super app, which is a mobile app plus a web portal. So all the government services will be listed there, including the government payments, traffic fine payments, utility bill payments, and also maybe government service application lodging, status tracking, and also subsequent document uploads and so on. So many services will be brought in under common applications, so that it will be easier for public to consume government services digitally.
So you simply go to the super app and you click on whatever you want, whichever service you desire, and it will take you to that page.
Yes, either to that page or certain services would be available within that itself.
That
yes.
Well.
So therefore, thereby, like we can give a kind of a uniform user journey, irrespective of what the backend institution is, whether the service is delivered from an institution in Colombo or Jaffna, the user experience will be the same.
Right. Now, what about public awareness, Minister? Because in Sri Lanka, the digital penetration among the public has been very low. And there have been various reasons for that. Number one, of course, is the fact that government services were not digitalized. So people didn't feel the need to learn digitalized services. And also, of course, there's the cost factor. Buying a laptop or a PC was too expensive. But now many people have smartphones. Now, in countries like China, the amount of digitalization amongst the public is phenomenal. Chinese do everything on their smartphones. How do we get our public to that stage?
Yeah, you are right. So public awareness building is much needed. And every project that we do on digital space, like there has to be a component of public awareness building, training public, and also running the campaigns in traditional media as well as social media for people to first to know the services are available, as well as how to uh, get those services. And having super app in one way, like it will address this awareness, it will support the awareness building as well as letting the customers know about the new services that are available newly. And the other thing is about for our public to come on board with digital services, we have to have certain kind of incentive programs, maybe certain gamifications for people to adopt new services digitally, and so that they will be moving away from the traditional services and coming to digital space. The third one is about we have to build the trust, because even though our people are literate and we have a good literacy level in Sri Lanka, digital literacy as well as the trust on digital service consumption is still not good. It's still not good enough. Therefore, we have to build the trust, and for that we have to have proper digital service going, and at the same time for the public to consume those digital service with more trustable way, and to limit and reduce the theft and frauds that are happening. Because as you know, in the recent digital payments ecosystem, because the payment transactions are validated using PIN code, sometimes there are various parties who get the PIN code by giving various reasons to the transaction or the account owner, and get the PIN and then try to siphon out money from the accounts. So that sort of activities we must stop, and having the digital ID as the authenticator will be the way to go. And when we have the digital ID, people for them to do transactions, they can verify all the transaction and authenticate those transactions by giving their biometrics data, so that it will not rely on PIN code kind of facilities where another third party can siphon it out.
Right. What about the transport system, the public transport system, Minister? I'm talking about trains and buses. At the moment, the system that we have is the same system that we may have had 100 years ago. You still have, if you're going on a train, you still have to go and buy your ticket through that tiny window, and they give you that ticket stub, and you have to keep that till the end of your journey, and then hand it over to a railway employee as you're leaving the station. And this is what we had 100 years ago, I'm sure. But and of course with buses, again, same situation. Most private bus conductors don't even bother to give you a ticket, but otherwise it is that same system that we've had for decades. How are you going to turn this around? To turn it into a digital system, and to ensure that both the departments and the public start using this.
Yeah. So currently also there's a railway ticket reservation system, which is very well being used for ticket reservation, especially
Right.
in this Nano and few other tracks. And that system, of course, there's room to expand to other trains destinations as well. And also for tickets, to convert them from the traditional paper-based tickets to digital tickets. There's another project that is currently going on, and called Provesia, and there you can buy tickets online and then use them for traveling without like buying the traditional ticket. Uh, there are certain improvements that we are currently doing on that system, and we are going to get the digital payments and digital ticket system for this bus transportation as well, and that will come with this cluster based transport mechanism that we are going to create, and we'll bring in the digital based payments using card payments and cash based payments, but we are promoting more and more card based payments based using credit cards, debit cards. So even in future we'll be introducing a transit card, fixed top up based card, where people can top up some fixed money to that card and then start consuming that as a stored value card.
Right. But even those cards, how easy or difficult will it be to get such a card? Because I'm reminded of the ETC card on the expressway, and one has to go with the ownership registration particulars to the Paliagoda office, and it takes a while. And it's in many other countries it's much simpler. You just buy a card from a shop, and then you just go through the toll booth, and the money is deducted. None of this having to give your vehicle book and all that. And of course, in Sri Lanka, many people still don't use the ETC system. When you look at the toll gates at Katunayaka, Jailam, Paliagoda, all the way on the other expressways, you see that most people still don't use that ETC card. So in other words, it's a bit of a failure. How are you going to ensure that in the future such introductions won't actually fail because they are too complex?
Yeah. So we have to first understand why this toll gate ETC card on this Katnayak, that small stretch of expressway failed. Because ETC is only available there.
Right.
Even though we have a large highway network, that small segment only the ETC is accepted.
Yes.
But if we had the other highways also connected to ETC, then the adoption would have been much higher. And now when we are introducing a card for payments, the use case will drive the adaptation. That's why now when we are introducing a card, it could be the same ETC card or maybe a new card. It should be able to use in the buses, trains, highways, and even day-to-day payment purposes. Like that card should be able to use for small value transactions. So bringing out the ecosystem, multiple use cases is one way to increase the adaptation. The other point is about making the purchase of cards and the use of cards more convenient to the public. And it can't have a lengthy registration process and the personal visit to some specialized institution or office to purchase cards. It has to be available in any supermarkets or even a small shop for them to buy a card and start using it. And that the whole registration process would be made much convenient with the introduction of the digital ID, because then we can get the authentication done using digital ID 100% accurately and also remotely, and then bind whatever the card to that person's identity, so that the usage of card also will be tagged into the person, and no need to produce any vehicle registration certificate or driving license for obtaining such card.
Right. Now, Minister, one of the key advantages of digitalization is that the government would earn more revenue. But for this, the key revenue making departments need to get on board. When I say the department, it's the staff of those departments. So I'm mainly referring to Inland Revenue, Customs, and Excise, which are the three departments which bring in the most revenue for the government. Because without government revenue, we really can't do much, as a country. How has it been to convince those departments, which in the past, I mean, let's be frank, in the past, many of the staff within those departments blocked any attempt to digitalize, but now it seems to be actually happening.
Yeah, in those departments also many systems are digitalized. Of course, maybe there are certain issues about the efficiency of those systems and maybe the user friendliness of those systems. But a lot of digital systems are there. For example, at Inland Revenue, the tax filing system, remis-based solution, which is provided by Singaporean government-based solution. And there are, of course, we understand there are certain issues of user friendliness of the interfaces and as well as the stability of the system. So for that, like we are now in the process of taking over the management and the support of that platform to a set of professionals in the country. And with that, like we'll be able to improve the features available in the system, improve the user friendliness of the interfaces we are offering to the public, as well as improve the efficiency and the capacity of the whole system to avoid any kind of downtime in the high usage times and so on. Then when we are talking about customs, the customs certain areas where are currently digitalized. For example, payments are 100% digitalized, but we still don't have a kind of a single window to get the whole custom clearance process through a digital end-to-end digital mode. Therefore, like there's an ongoing project to bring a single window solution connecting certain government institutions which are offering approvals for the item clearance process. And therefore, like in time to come, the paperless custom clearance, paperless cashless digital payments will be available at the customs. Same as with the excise department, a digitalization process is currently going on to bring the right digital system for inventory management and also to tax collections and so on.
Right. So, Minister, there will come a particular point when all of a sudden we will look back and realize we have now digitalized, that most of our the work that we do with government and on a day-to-day basis has now become digitalized. Now, we haven't quite got there yet. At what point are you expecting that? Would it be in another 6 months or a year? These two things do take time, but where you can say, well, now we've made a difference and the majority of government services are now digitalized, and it's the paper-based systems are very rare. How far down the road are you looking?
Yeah, so for us to really say that the paper-based services are now rare would take at least 5 to 6 years. But many services can be digitalized within the next 6 to 1 year's time. And the starting point of digitalization would be this digital ID, which is the key. Because many government services will depend on the availability of the digital ID for authentication, validation, and that data sharing model that I was explaining. So we have started the journey, and we'll have certain DPS, digital public infrastructure platforms on digitalization coming up within the mid next year to end next year. And on top of that, we'll get more and more private organization involved in delivering these digital services. So we'll create the foundational platforms and get private sector to build the application so that many solutions can be done in parallel. It doesn't have to be done purely by the government. We need support from private sector also in that. So within next 5 to 6 years is some target that we are having.
But within about a year, we will see a huge difference.
Huge difference, yes, yes.
Right. Yes. So the next 12 months would be quite exciting.
That's right.
Right. And now you yourself, you're an engineer by profession. Before, of course, you had to, commit yourself to the work that you're doing. How exciting is it for you to, personally, to be playing a key role in this rolling out and modernization of the country?
It's challenging, but it's quite exciting because of the tremendous like opportunity that we have with the support from the public, and also we have a government. They are all the different ministers, the president, prime minister. Everybody wants to put much weight on the digitalization, and all the support is getting from all the other line ministries for digitalization, and therefore the opportunities are vast, and there are so many projects going on here and there, and getting them into a kind of a national digital blueprint is something that is done by our ministry, and we are giving advice to the other ministries, the other institutions in that digitalization journey to align them into the national digital public infrastructure that we are building, so that those systems, when they are coming up, they'll have a much futuristic approach than working in isolation. And having this integrated government network is something that the country needs badly, because so far whatever the digitalizations that have happened in various silos. Certain departments have adopted digitalization, for example, passport office. The digitalization is really good, but only that department or that office is working in isolation. The connectivity to the rest of the government institutions are not there. So when you are developing whatever the new platforms from any kind of government institutions, we have to always refer to the national digital blueprint and align all these systems to support whatever the data sharing that is needed. So we are bringing up with this API first, cloud first kind of strategies to have that. And for myself, when I'm seeing this digitalization is happening and the success cases are coming up, such as GovPay and various other things, I get much pleasure because of the convenience that it brings to the public.
Right, wonderful. And we're almost out of time, but my final question is this. Sri Lanka has a very old population. When you look around, especially in Asia, our average age of our population is quite old. But digitalization is not something that is only for the young, is it? And what would be your message to people in their 50s, 60s, 70s who now need to learn a little bit about the digital sphere?
Yeah, so I think, again, I'm coming back to the use case scenario, where more and more public services are offered in digital mode, more and more the people would start adopting it. To take an example, like Astasuma delivery.
Right.
If we do it in digital mode, whoever goes will start adapting digital systems to start consuming Astasuma. And we are now introducing delivery of fertilizer delivery using QR-based digital platforms. And so farmers have to adapt. Now we adapted as a country, adapted QR-based fuel distribution and the
Very
consumption.
quickly also,
Yes,
yes.
very quickly, quick time, and the whole country, irrespective of the age, the income level, and everything, they start using that because that was the only option that they had.
Right.
So our people can learn things much faster. It's just that we need to give them the incentives and reasons to adapt. And subsidy delivery and even the school this school toolkit package delivery is done using QR-based system. So more and more rural area people and our community, rural community, will start adapting digital. And with digital payments coming up with zero MDR, which is going to coming soon, as well as to make people to adopt digital payments, will bring out with various other incentive schemes, so that when they start adopting digital payments, going away from the cash payments, they'll get more added benefits.
Right. To have some kind of discount or something like
discounts, incentives, lottery kind of gamification kind of mechanisms. So that people will enjoy and willingly come into digital space.
Excellent. And I'm afraid we are out of time. My thanks to my guest, the Honorable Eranga Weeraratne, Deputy Minister of Digital Economy. Thank you very much for updating us, and I hope in a couple of months you will return and give us some more good news like you did today.
Thank you very much, Nilesh. Yes.
Right, and thank you to you at home for watching. Don't go away because the news is coming up next. Have a great evening.